Welcome to the New Mexico Museum of Space History in Alamagordo, where the story of humanity's journey beyond Earth comes alive. As you explore, imagine the courage, curiosity, and innovation that carried people from desert test ranges to the surface of the moon and beyond. This self-guided tour will lead you through some of the highlights. Take your time, look closely, and enjoy the adventure. As you enter, think back to the years after World War II. Nearby White Sands Missile Range became one of the most important testing grounds in the world. Captured V-2 rockets were launched here, helping scientists learn about high-speed flight, upper atmosphere conditions, and the challenges of reaching space. Many lessons learned in southern New Mexico would later help launch America's space program. Look for early rocket displays and imagine the thunder of engines echoing across the desert. This quiet region played a surprisingly loud role in history. One of the pioneers honored here is Robert H. Goddard, often called the father of modern rocketry. Decades before astronauts, Goddard imagined liquid-fueled rockets reaching incredible heights. Many people doubted him, but his experiments proved the concept. As you view exhibits about early inventors, remember that space exploration began not with giant agencies, but with dreamers and workshops, testing ideas many thought impossible. Now move into the era of intense competition and rapid progress. In less than 15 years, the United States went from its first astronauts to landing on the moon. Look for spacecraft models, suits, and mission artifacts from Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. Mercury proved humans could survive spaceflight. Gemini masked a rendezvous, docking, and long-duration missions. Apollo achieved the giant leap of landing people on the moon. Imagine the pressure, excitement, and global attention of each launch. Millions watched history unfold in real time. Take a closer look at the suits and equipment. A space suit is more like a personal spacecraft than clothing. It provides oxygen, temperature control, communications, and protection from deadly conditions. Notice how bulky and complex these suits appear. Every zipper, glove, and visor had to work flawlessly. A simple failure could become life-threatening. Spacewalking astronauts trust these systems with their lives. Here you'll find the next chapter: reusable spacecraft. The space shuttle changed how missions were done, allowing satellite launches, science experiments, and assembly of the International Space Station. Look at the shuttle displays and think of the engineering challenge: a craft that launched like a rocket, orbited like a spacecraft, and landed like a glider. It was bold, complicated, and iconic. Space exploration became more global with the International Space Station. Nations that once competed now work together in orbit. Astronauts have lived continuously in space for decades, studying medicine, physics, agriculture, and life in microgravity. As you see modern exhibits, think about how routine spaceflight has become compared to the early days. Yet, every mission still requires extraordinary skill and planning. The story is still being written. Missions are returning to the moon, private companies are launching astronauts, and plans for Mars continue to grow. The next generation may see permanent lunar bases and deeper journeys into the solar system. You are standing in a museum of history, but also in a preview of the future. Outdoor Rocket Park. If you visit the outdoor displays, take time to appreciate the size of the rockets. Photos rarely capture their scale. Standing beside them helps you understand the power required to escape Earth's gravity. In 1982, the Space Shuttle Columbia carried New Mexico's own story into orbit when astronaut missions increasingly connected local pride with national achievement. Southern New Mexico, already linked to White Sands testing, embraced its place in the space narrative. The museum sits on a hillside with sweeping views of Alamagordo and the Tularosa Basin, reminding visitors that this desert landscape helped launch technologies that reached far beyond Earth. Additional bonus story: One of the museum's most moving areas honors astronauts who gave their lives in exploration, including crews from Apollo 1, Challenger, and Columbia. These memorials remind visitors that every success in space has carried real risk. The progress celebrated in the galleries was built not only by engineers and astronauts who returned home, but also by those who never did. Their legacy lives on in every safer spacecraft, every improved procedure, and every new mission that continues the journey they helped begin. Before leaving, consider this. Only a little more than a century separates the first airplanes from people living in orbit. Human progress can move astonishingly fast when imagination meets determination. Thank you for visiting the New Mexico Museum of Space History. Whether you came as a space enthusiast or simply curious, you've walked through one of humanity's greatest adventures. Safe travels, and keep looking up.